Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti, Amen. Truly, Boado Paride. We become a Deus et discerne causa meam, vigentinum sancto, homini quoto so ero, Amen.
Wait to us, Deus, what into the mare, what another from the state, what a justice, and shadow them of legitimate
Venite lucem tuum veritatem tuum, sum me Deus adus artum multum sanctum tuum, tabernacula tua.
and we free fall on the day, had any force to be God given to the man.
Capi liberti vincere Deus, Deus meus, quare Christus animum mea, quare conturbas meus.
Spare dem quantum laudo quod vidi gloria salutare votus mea Deus meus.
Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto.
Secretariat in principio semper in secula seculorum. Amen.
In Sholibolo Paride.
And then glorificat given to the man.
Agitorium nostrum in nomine Domini.
We feci shalometaros.
Superior de omnipotente, Beatum Maria, Semper Virgine, Beatum Michaeli Arcangelo, Beatum Ioannis Baptista, Sanctus Apostolos Petro, Paulo, Omnibus Sanctus Apostolus Fratres, qui peccavenimus, cogitatione verbo et opere, mea culpa, mea maxima culpa, ideo precor, Beatum Mariam, Semper Virginem, Beatum Michaelum Arcangelo, Beatum Ioannis Baptista, Sanctus Apostolos Petro, Paulo, Omnibus Sanctus Apostolus Fratres, ora pro mea Dominum Deum nostrum.
Israel for me, that says, and speak up those to us, to get that people that
Amen.
With your day, omnipotent, Beatum Maria, Semper Virginem, Beatum Michaelum Arcangelo, Beatum Ioannis Baptista. So this apostles spectrum for Omnibus Sanctus et Dei Pata. With the communion cogitazione per quella mea culpa, maxima culpa. In your prayer, Beatum Maria, Semper Virginem, Beatum Michaelum Arcangelo, Beatum Ioannis Baptista. So this apostles spectrum for Omnibus Sanctus et Dei Pata.
Misereatur vestra omnipotens Deus et dimissus peccatis vestris perdicat posta vitam aeternam. Indulgentia maltutum miserum peccatorum nostrum, frivole nobis omnipotens et misericors Domino. Deus tu conversus, purificatus nos. Nostra nobis Domini misericordiam tuam. Domini exaudi laxum meam. Dominus vobiscum. Amen. Nuncio veriquia misi Dominum Dominus Angelum Suum et requit me de mano Herodes et de omni expectatione plebis et Judeorum. Domini probasti mea, cognovisti mea, tu cognovisti sessione mea, resurrectione mea. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto, sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen. Nuncio veriquia nisi Dominus Angelum Suum et requit me de mano Herodes et de omni expectatione plebis Judeorum. Kyrie eleison, Kyrie eleison, Christe eleison, Kyrie eleison, Kyrie eleison. Gloria in excelsis Deo, et in terra pax hominibus boni voluntatis, laudamus te, benedicimus te, adoramus te, glorificamus te, gratias agimus tibi propter magnum gloriam tuam. Domini Deus Rex Celestis Deus Pater Omnipotens, Domini Filii Unigenite Iesu Christe, Domini Deus Omnis Dei Filius Patris, qui tollis peccata mundi, miserere nobis, qui tollis peccata mundi, suscipere peccationem nostrum, qui sedes ad dexterum Patris, miserere nobis, quinem tu solus Sanctus, tu solus Dominus, tu solus Altissimus Iesu Christe, cum Sancto Spiritu in gloria Dei Patris. Amen. Dominus vobiscum. Oremus, Deus qui hodierna diem apostolorum tuorum Petri Apolli Martyrio consecrasti, da ecclesiae filiarum homini omnibus seque preceptum, per quos religionis sum sit exordium, per Dominum nostrum Iesum Christum Filium tuum, qui tecum vita regna in unitate Spiritus Sancti Deus, per omnia saecula saeculorum. Lectio actum apostolorum, in Deus Filiis nisi Herodes Rex manus ut affligere quosdam de ecclesia, occidit autem Jacobum fratrem Ioannis Claudio, videns autem quia placeret Judaeis, opposuit apprehenderum et patrum, erat autem dies asimorum, cum apprehendis et misim in carcerum, audiens quatuor terminionibus militum custodiendum, volens post Pascha producere in populo, et Petrus quidam servabatur in carcere, oratio autem pieva sine intermissione ab ecclesia Deum pro eo, cum autem productoros eum herset Herodes, in ipsum note erat Petrus dormiens inter duos milites, vinctus catenas duabus, et custodes ante ostium custodiebam carceram, et ecce angelus Domini assite et lumen repulsit in habitaculo, per cusoque latere patrix excitavit eum dicens, surge velociter, et cetiderum contenge de manibus eius, dixit autem angelus ad eum, precingere calcea te caligas tuas, et fecit si, et dixit illi, circumda tibi vestimentum tuum obsequere me, et exiem sequibatur eum, et nesciebat, quia verum est, quod piebat per angelo, exustimabat autem se visum fidere, transituntes autem primam, et secundum custodiam venerunt ad portam teriam, quae ducit ad civitatem, quae altro aperta est eis, et ex euntes processerum vitum unum, et continuo discesit angelus ab eo, et Petrus ad se reversus dixit, nuncio vere, quia visit Dominus angelum sum et riput me de mano Herodes, et de omni expectatione plebis Judeorum. Constitutus eius principes super omnem terram, memoris erunt omnis tui Domine, pro patibus tuis natis sunt tibi filia properia populi, compitebuntur tibi. Alleluia, alleluia. Tuus Petrus, et super hanc Petrum edificabo ecclesiam meam. Alleluia. Dominus vobiscum.
Et spiritus tuo.
Sequentia Sancti Evangelii secundum Mattheum.
Laudetur Domine.
In illo tempore venit Jesus in partis Caesarea Philippi interrogabat discipulos suos dicens, quam dicunt homines esse filium hominis? Et illi dixerunt alii Ioannem Baptistam, alii autem Eliam, alii vere Jeremiam, alius ex prophetis. Dicit allis Jesus, vos autem quam esse dicites? Respondens Simon Petrus dixit, Tuus Christus filius Dei vivi, qui respondus autem Jesus dixit ei, Beatus est Simon Barjona, quia caro et sanguis non revelabit tibi, sed Pater meus, qui in celis est, et ego dico tibi, quia tuus Petrus et super hanc Petrum edificabo ecclesiam meam, et portum terram non prevalebunt adversus eam, et tibi dabo clavis regni celorum, et quodcunque ligaveris super terram erat ligatum et in celis, et quodcunque salveris super terram erat salutum et in celis.
Lost to be Christa.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost, amen. We celebrate today the Feast of the Apostles, Peter and Paul. So our Lord, before He ascended to heaven, He established the foundations of the church, and He established it on the 12 apostles, the 12 pillars of the church, with Peter being the foundation stone upon which it would be built. And He built it with a solid foundation to last until the end of time. So we know that the church will last until the end of time and will be available for everyone to find, to come to, and to enter into. And so it is here for that purpose. Now, in the beginning of the church, the apostles stayed in Jerusalem for many years before they dispersed and went out to the whole world to fulfill the commandment to preach to the whole world. But before they did that, they had to be demonstrated to them that the church was not only for the Jews but also for the Gentiles, that also for all the peoples. It wasn't just for the Jews, and it was several years later before this was shown to St. Peter, and he was convinced, yes, we have to go to all the nations of the world and bring them all into the faith. And then the apostles left. But even when they were in Jerusalem, the only ones we really have recorded what they did was St. Peter, the recordings of St. Peter, a little bit of St. John, yet they all worked together. They were all with Peter, united with Peter in various things, but what the other apostles did particularly, we know that they worked many miracles and converted many people, but what they did we don't know before they left to their various assignments, various places in the world to go and bring in the faith in other places. And even then we know very little about even where they went or how they converted people, but we know they quickly went all over the place, and quickly there were Catholics found everywhere in the world. But St. Peter and St. Paul ended up in Rome. It was in Rome that they were martyred on the same day they died for the faith, and they gave up their lives for the church and for the Catholic faith and for our Lord Jesus Christ, and they were willing to die for Him and suffer all these persecutions of martyrdom for Him, because they had this great love for Him, and our Lord had told them, no greater love than this has a man, but then He laid down His life for His friends, and so they were willing to lay down their lives for the church. But it was already well established, and there was no confusion. When our St. Peter died, immediately a successor was chosen to step in and take his place, and this was Linus. And then when he was martyred, another successor took in to take his place, and so on. And so we have a continual line of popes down to the present day. And this is we call the Church Apostolic. It has an apostolic foundation. It's founded on the apostles, and the bishops are all successors of the apostles. They succeed them in their authority, in their position, and with their duties to propagate the faith to all nations. And so they do this. And so the church is still here. But it's in unfortunately a great eclipse now, because the successor of St. Peter and the successors of the other apostles are not doing their duty. They're not doing as our Lord told them. Our Lord said, feed my lambs and feed my sheep. That's what He told St. Peter. And, this is something that the Pope is supposed to do. And he has to remember that the lambs and the sheep are not his. He didn't say feed your lambs and feed your sheep. He said feed my lambs and my sheep. And so he has to take care of the flock as not belonging to him, and not as a hireling either. Not a hireling says, well, the flock doesn't belong to me, so I can feed it to the wolves. But the Pope he's not a hireling, but he's the one that does have to take care of the flock of the master. So he's the steward. He's the one there that has to govern the flock well. But the present popes have acted like hirelings, saying, well, I want to, rather than take care of the flock of our Lord Jesus Christ, I want to please the world. And this goes back to Paul VI, for certainly Paul VI said, I prefer serving the world than taking care of the flock of Christ and protecting it from the dangers of the world. And, he did this when he surrendered or tried to surrender his authority to the United Nations and say, no, we're going to have some other body protecting the world and governing the world, somebody that doesn't have the faith, that has no commission from our Lord Jesus Christ, that is not assigned to do that. And so this was a great crime of his, and his successors have followed this path and continued these great crimes, and so they turned themselves into wolves, and they've instead devoured the flock and devoured the church, and we see the church has been devoured. Many people have been forced out of the church by the wolves running it, and so we have to pray to Saints Peter and Paul that we might get good successors for them and good successors for all the bishops to restore the faith and to again go out and conquer the world for our Lord Jesus Christ. And so we want to ask especially the intercession of the Blessed Virgin Mary, who was there with the apostles in the beginning days of the church and stayed with St. John, of course, and but she was with them in the beginning days of the church, giving them courage and giving them advice, and we want to ask her through her intercession that we get men worthy to be successors of St. Peter to sit on his chair and guide and govern the church. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen. Credo in unum Deum, Patrem omnipotentem, Factorum Caeli et terrae, visibilium omnium et invisibilium, et in unum Dominum Iesum Christum, Filium Deum, unigenitum, ex Patra natum ante omnia saecula, Deum de Deo, lume de Domine, Deum verum de Deo vero. Genitum non factum consubstantialum Patri, percum omnia factus sum. Qui propter nos homines, et propter nostrum salutem, descendit de Caelis. Et incarnatus est Spiritus Sanctum ex Mariae Virginae, et homo factus est, crucifixus est iam pro nobis Pontio Pilato passus et sepultus est, et resurrexit tertia dies, et cum scripturas, et ascended in caelum, sedet ad dexterum Patris, et aeternum venturus est cum gloria, judicare vivus et mortuos, cuius regni non erat finis. Et in spiritum sanctum Dominum vivicantem, ex Patre Filioque procedit, qui cum Patre Filio summo adorator et cum glorificator, qui locutus est per profetas, et unam sanctum catholicam et apostolicam ecclesiam, confidere unum baptismum, remissionem peccatorum, et expecto resurrectionem mortuorum, et vitam venturi saeculi. Amen. Dominus vobiscum. Oremus. Constituis eos principes super omnem terram, memoris erunt nominis tui Domini, and omnis progenie et generationem. Arate fratres.
Suscipita sacrificium Estus ad morte farinam nessun, ad te patem vocum astis perlas Estus altar.
Per omnia saecula saeculorum.
Amen.
Dominus vobiscum.
Et in spiritu tuo.
Sursum corda.
Habemus et Dominum.
Gratias agamus Domino Deo nostro.
Divinibus est.
Vere dignum et istum est ecum et salutari nocte Domini subitur exorare regum tuum pastor aeterna non desideras et proprias apostolus tuus continua protectione custodias. Uri istum rectoribus gubernator, quos operas tui vicarios eius eidem contradis de preas et pastores, et ideo cum angelis paraconsulis cum thronis et dominationibus cum plena militia terrestris exercitus signum gloriae tui canimus sine fine dicentes. Sanctus, 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 Dominus Deus Sabaoth, plenis in caeli et terra gloria tua Hosanna excelsis. Benedictus, qui venit in nomine Domini, Hosanna in excelsis. Dove scopi peccatori blu. Per omnia saecula saeculorum.
Amen.
Oremus preceptus solitaribus moniti et divina institutione formate audemus dicere. Pater noster qui es in caeli sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua sicut in caelo et in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et dimitte nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimittimus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentatio.
Sed non per nos malo.
Per omnia saecula saeculorum.
Amen.
Pax Domini sit semper vobiscum.
Et in spiritu tuo.
Agnus Dei qui tollis peccata mundi, miserere nobis. Agnus Dei qui tollis peccata mundi, miserere nobis. Agnus Dei qui tollis peccata mundi, dona nobis pacem. Domine non sum dignius. Domine non sum dignius. Domine non sum dignius.
Santa si possa specchio con Santa Santa e Pata, Rada Planeta Monte Nostrum.
Misereatur vestri omnipotens Deus et domus peccatis vestris purgatus et vitam aeternam. Indulgentiam absolutum remission peccatorum vestrorum, trigo et vobis omnipotens et misericordias Dominus.
Amen.
Ecce agnus Dei, ecce qui tollit peccata mundi. Domine non sum dignes, ventres subtectum meum, sed tantum dic verbo sanabiter anima mea. Domine non sum dignes, ventres subtectum meum, sed tantum dic verbo sanabiter anima mea. Domine non sum dignes, ventres subtectum meum, sed tantum dic verbo sanabiter anima mea. Tu és Petrus, et super hoc Petrum edificabo ecclesiam meum. Dominus vobiscum.
Ac in spiritu tuo.
Oremus, quos celesti Domini alimentus satiasti apostolicis intercessionibus ab omnia versitate custodi. Per Dominum nostrum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum. We take and vivere regna in unitate Spiritus Sancti Deus, per omnia saecula saeculorum.
Amen.
Dominus vobiscum.
Ac in spiritu tuo.
Ite missam est.
Deo gratias.
Benedicat vos omnipotens Deus, Pater, et Filius, et Spiritus Sanctus. Dominus vobiscum.
Ac in spiritu tuo.
Initium Sancti Evangelii secundum Ioannem.
Gloria tibi, Domine.
In principio erat verbum, et verbum erat apud Deum, et Deus erat verbum. Hoc erat in principio apud Deum, omnia persum factus unus, in ipso factum est, nihil quod factum est. In ipso vita erat, vita lux hominum, et lux in tenebris lucet, et tenebrium non comprehenderum. Ut homo missus ad Deo, cognum ergo vanes, hic venit in testimonium, ut testimonium per verite lumina, et omnes pregerum per ullum. Non erat ille lux, sed testimonium per verite lumina, erat lux veraque illuminat omnem hominum venientem in mundum. In mundo eratum, mundus versum factus est, mundus eum non cognovit. In propria venit et sui eum non receperum. quoque autem recia perum Deum dedides potestatem filios Dei fieri, isque credunt in nomine Eius, qui non ex sanguinibus, nequex voluntate carnis, nequex voluntate viri, sed ex Deo natis sunt. Et verbum caro factum est, et habitabit in nobis et idibus gloriam Eius, gloriam quas in Trinitia Patre, quem gratia et veritatis. Ave Maria, gratia plena Dominus tecum, benedicta tu mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Santa Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Ave Maria, gratia plena Dominus tecum, benedicta tu mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Santa Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Ave Maria, gratia plena Dominus tecum, benedicta tu mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Santa Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Salve Regina,
Mater misericordiae, vita dulceus et nostra salve. A tecum amus exodus filiere, a Jesus Christus sementes et plentes, in hoc lacrimarum vale. Ea ergo vocata nostra, illos tuos misericordias oculos salvos converte, et Iesus benedictum fructum ventris tui, nobis post officium ostende, o temus Sophia Lucis Virgo Maria. Ora pro nobis sancta Dei genitrix, Oremus, Deus refugium nostrum virtus populum et promotum propitius respice, intercedente gloriosa Immaculata Virgine Dei Gentrice Maria, cum beata Iosef, eius sponso, acquias apostolos tuus Peter et Paul, omnibus sanctus, quas pro conversione peccatorum, pro libertate et exaltatione sancti matris ecclesia, praetus et fundimos, misericors benedictus audi periundum Christum Dominum nostrum. Amen.
Sancti Michael Arcangelo, defendi nos in prelio, contra liquid insidias diabolo est presidium. Imperitili Deus subitus de precam morti, quae princes militia celestis, Satan oliosque spiritus malignos, quae perditionem animarum per vergantur mundo divina virtute in infernum detrude. Cor Iesus sacratissimum.
Miserere nobis.
Cor Iesus sacratissimum.
Miserere nobis.
Cor Iesus sacratissimum.
Miserere nobis.
Number 129. We stand for God and for His glory, heralds of real God of all. Against His foes we raise His standard, around the cross we hear His call. Strengthen our faith within us, guard us when danger is nigh. To Thee we pledge our lives and service. For God we live, for God we'll die. To Thee we pledge our lives and service. For God we live, for God we'll die. We stand for God, Jesus our Master, has died to save with love untold. His love divine and truth unchanging, in this our lamp that place must hold. Strengthen our faith within us, guard us when danger is nigh. To Thee we pledge our lives and service. For God we live, for God we'll die. To Thee we pledge our lives and service. For God we live, for God we'll die. We stand for To thee we pledge our lives and service. For God we live, for God we'll die. To thee we pledge our lives and service. For God we live, for God we'll die. We stand for God in ages olden. He placed the cross our stars beside. Oh, may our land, gracious and golden, be faithful to the crucified. Strengthen our faith, Redeemer. Guard us when danger is nigh. To thee we pledge our lives and service. For God we live, for God we'll die. To thee we pledge our lives and service. For God we live.